Yo, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Stay off of that ice. That's why you falling. Yeah, I just wanted to drop y'all a line. Like I always say, as I'm studying and making things work and, putting stuff together in my head, I got to let it out. Just got to throw it out there into the sphere. So, one of my other little series, asking for myself. You know what I'm saying? So I want to know what the plan is because y'all are the experts. Y'all went to college. Y'all know what's going on. I'm just a fella. No, boy, go play. Go play before you go. You better leave me alone before you go in the house. You want to come outside, you better play. So in regards, I want to look at things from the bigger picture. Oh yeah, support Black Muslim media. This is our voice. We telling this thing from the inside out. This is our goal at our attempt at stop playing in that mud. Get out of there. You're gonna go in the house if I keep talking to you. This is our attempt at telling our own story as opposed to our story being told outside of the proper context. So support Black Muslim media, like and share if y'all like what I'm saying. If y'all don't like what I'm saying, share it so somebody can correct me because it ain't but two ways. It's the truth and there's falsehood. So if I'm wrong and I'm on falsehood, then we can bring that scholar out of the woodworks who can correct everything that I'm saying. So let's talk about this systemic oppression thing. I wanna go from the bigger picture, man. Because I get nowadays on the internet, we got all these. We got this whole what do you call them people? Uh, what's it called? The Hopi Changey generation. I think that's a ramification from Obama. All this Hopi Changey stuff. Hold on, y'all get ready to kill each other. Where we just what they call it, speaking it into existence. Oh, I'm about to fall myself. Here, go ahead. Go. I'm gonna hold the chair. Go ahead. Go. Are you going back there now? You supposed to take. Go ahead. It'll rain off. Go ahead. Boy, you got two left feet. I tell you. Don't try to get down without saying something because you're gonna fall. We got the whole speaking into existence thing. So um, we got this movement where we got people just like, hey, just start a business. Hey, just become an entrepreneur. Hey, just do this, just do that, just do that. And y'all don't understand that there's a whole process that's involved. First and foremost, you got to have startup money to just start a business. You got to have startup money. Where you gonna get the startup from? There's a million people out here with a million ideas, but we don't have the startup money to support our ideas. So how in the world can we just start a business? I was debating with some folks on one of Dr. Boyce Watkins' posts, and the guy put some of that Hopi Changey stuff out there, and a video, and the video went viral. It's like they're stuck on the job and they're not doing what they love, and they're depressed because they're not doing what they love, and they could be making a lot more money doing what they love, and so on and so forth. And everybody, it went viral. People liking it, hearting it, sharing it, the whole nine. That's all the Hopi changey stuff. Let's get to the meat on the bone. And I want to start the conversation to what people ain't talking about. It's because when you really look at this thing with a magnifying glass and you sincere about it, you can see that it's just not a speak it into existence type situation. It don't work like that. I just told you not to do that. That's what you get. That's what you get. Now y'all stay out of there. Don't wait. I said wait. Come on. It ain't just you speaking into existence. That's all fairy tales and fairyland stuff. You got to have you some paper. You got to have startup money because I own a business. So and I own a small business. So I'm gonna tell you from example from the inside out. And it ain't no other math to it. It ain't no way that it can get done unless it gets done this way. You have to have startup money for the business alone. So whatever amount of money that you invest, you're going to have you're going to have to calculate some type of period of cushion to allow yourself to replenish your investment. You still are in the negative, when you invest. You got to make that money back, and then you have to begin to generate profit on top of your investment. That's the first thing. Second thing is you still got to take care of home. Them bills ain't gonna stop coming because you done started a whole hopey. You done fell into the whole internet hopey changey stuff. You done got into it and say, hey, I can start a business. I can become an entrepreneur, and I can I can start generational wealth, man. Hey, listen, quit listening to all them people that's making money off of the internet, just telling y'all everything that y'all want to hear. That's what they call the gospel of prosperity, where they telling you everything that you want to hear, ain't telling you what you need to hear. So first and foremost, we need startup money for all this. Stop committing financial suicide, jumping out here just starting an LLC. And you see everybody nowadays posting, get an LLC, get an LLC, have an LLC. You have to have an LLC. Buy a car with your LLC. Put your LLC inside of your house. And put your house inside of your LLC. I don't get off of that. Get off of that. Leave it alone. I ain't putting my personal car in my house as my LLC because if something go wrong with my business, then they can get it. So that's a different conversation for a different day. So uh uh don't commit financial suicide out here listening to these hopey changey. What's going on, Miss Mo? Assalamu alaikum. Going into believing these hopey changey videos that's going viral on the internet. And videos like this won't go viral because this is the hard truth. This the stuff that they're not telling y'all that they don't want y'all to know, because there is a such thing as systemic oppression. Second thing, everybody keep running around talking about stop blaming the white man, stop blaming the white people, stop blaming the system. Now, I'm not racist. I'm a Muslim. I am not allowed to be racist. I couldn't be racist and be a Muslim. So don't try to play that game. Let's just be real. Let's call it what it is. A spade is a spade. Ain't nobody on this planet recently done oppressed black people other than white people in this systemic oppression. Leave that alone? Am I saying, huh? Go over there in the woods. Uh, does that mean that every person that has white color skin is evil and is involved in this oppression? No, but it does mean that they are benefiting from the oppression of their ancestors. Why is this important? Because everybody's like nowadays, like, hey, you're free. You can go and fill out a job application, and I have the same opportunities that we have the same opportunities as white people do in this world. Well, let me bust your brain. That's not true. Look at the statistics. Look at the statistics. If there was true equity out here, why on earth are black people as a class of people at the bottom of every category? We don't own any land. We don't own any homes on that land. We don't own businesses on that land. We're not developing any land. We don't have businesses. We do have businesses that do developing on land, but they're very, very small and minute. They barely even exist. We last in the categories as employment. There's race discrimination that still exists. Y'all know the stuff. Y'all, it's everyday life. Y'all know what's going on out here. Why is that? If everything is equal and it's just like y'all said, the white man ain't involved and still scheming against us and doing and participating and keeping the black class down in this country, then why on earth have we not gotten ahead? Have y'all ever stopped and sat down and asked that question? Have y'all ever stopped and sat down and asked that question? Why is it still hard? Why am I still struggling? I own a business. I own an LLC. I make good money. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, I make good money by our standards. But it's still hard. It's still hard. I'm still month to month with all my bills and so on and so forth. And I'm working the same amount of hours that everybody else is working, that, our quote unquote counterparts are working. I'm working the same amount of hours. I'm even working a lot harder because, I don't have as much equipment. I'm a contractor, so I don't have as much equipment as my counterparts do. They have a one up. They have an advantage. Now, why is that? This is why we must understand that there is systemic oppression. That systemic oppression, it always existed, but it's aimed at us, and we ain't never gonna get nowhere as far as the conversation or us. This period, we ain't never gonna get nowhere unless we be real and start to understand these things and start moving against them. Hold on one second. We start understanding these things and moving against them. We have to start organizing ourselves to move against them, and that's a conversation within itself as well. And I'm gonna touch on it just in a little bit. So, as we, of course, everybody know, I'm just gonna give y'all an overview. I'm gonna save y'all a lot of time from reading things. We were slaves, yes. Okay, we already know we were slaves. They released us from slavery. When they released us from slavery, then we went into an era of what they called the Black Codes and Jim Crow oppression, and then after that, we went into a whole what they call a phase of Reconstruction. The entire time, this is documented proof and documented history. The entire time, the systemic racist government, yeah, I see it. Be careful, Issa. The systemic racist government plot and planned against us while we were so-called and quote unquote free. We were quote unquote and so-called free. They turned us loose. They let us off of the plantation, and they didn't give us any money. They didn't give us any restart up. They didn't replenish what they had took from us. And so, what kind of problem did that create? That created a problem where our counterparts, quote unquote, got to the resources before we did. So their counterpart. How does this affect us today? This affects us today because if my great ancestors didn't have anything, to pass down to their kids, to their kids, to their kids, to their kids, all the way down to me, and I don't have anything. I don't have anything right now to this day. If I'm starting out with nothing, and it's because of slavery, Jim Crow, Black codes, Reconstruction, redlining, and now zoning. Google all those terms and do yourself some research. I've even done some videos on this, so just go through my page, look at my videos, and go and check all that stuff out if you need a crash course on it. But Google that stuff and read about it. Quit dancing on TikTok. Back to what I was saying. If my ancestors had nothing to pass down to me, and my counterparts, who are the descendants of slave owners, who took everything from Black people in our nation and our countries and our continent in Africa, and then here also, if they took everything from us and everything that they took, plus what they built with what they took from us, they passed down generation and generation and generation all the way to me, to my time period, which is the case. How do I compete? How would I compete equitably? How? How is this logically possible? This is the situation. This is the situation that we're dealing with that we don't understand and that we need to understand. And we have to swallow the bitter pill. Y'all have to begin to understand. We got to kick back in gear, y'all. We have to kick back in gear if you want to try to get something done. We have to understand that the playing field is lopsided and not to our advantage. This is why it's important to understand that systemic racism affect from the times before affects us today, and there are things that are at play because the government didn't change. It didn't change. They just they just it changed. They changed the way that they say and the way that they say and implement it. It's still happening to this day. It's still happening to this day. One statistic to prove this. To prove it. This ain't just internet talk. This ain't just trying to sound smart and get a lot of comment and get a lot of likes on my comment. The number one form of wealth in the world, the number one form of wealth, the number one way that your net worth manifests itself is through land and home ownership. The statistics for land and home ownership accounts for over 60% of your net worth. Fast forward. The land and home ownership statistics for the black community in the in the Western Hemisphere is embarrassing. It's not even there. It's somewhere between 30 and 40% of black people, quote unquote, own homes. And that's not homes paid for, my land, I do what I want to do with it. This is home occupancy. So we have what you call it, mortgages. When you don't own it yet, just because you got a mortgage, you're not a home owner. You have a mortgage. You're on your way, inshallah, to being a home owner. You don't own it yet. You can't do what you want to do with that property. The bank owns your home. So that's a whole nother conversation. But that's a hidden statistic in that statistic between the 30 and 40% of black people in the Western Hemisphere in America that have home ownership occupancy. Now our counterparts, it's 70 between 70 and 80% of them from small homes for maybe homes that don't cost that much, maybe 150,000, from that all the way up to $1 million homes. They own them. They own them. And if that accounts for 60% of your wealth, if that accounts for 60% of your wealth, then that means that they have a 60% head start advantage. No, leave my truck alone, boy. Oh, take a time out for our sponsors. If you need your grass cut in the Cincinnati area, call the Yard Barber, 513-813-7176. That's a word from our sponsors. So back to what I was saying. So that means that we have that at our best, the best thing that you can do is work hard, have your career, get you a home, get you some land and some home. That accounts for 60% of your net worth. So that means that our net worth is on average 60% less than our counterparts. When I say counterparts, I'm talking about the systemic racism at play. How is it possibly equal? What are we doing to change this? What is the plan? That's why I call this show Asking for Myself. Because everybody in the comment sections always got it all figured out. They're like, oh, well, all you got to do is hope, believe. You have to have hope. You have to start a business. And what are you gonna do with all of that stuff? How is that even possible when I don't even have the money? I've inherited nothing from my slaves. My heritage goes back to slavery. Every single black person in this country's heritage goes back to slavery. I'm talking about African Americans. I'm talking about Africans who became Americans. We're slaves. We've inherited nothing. So what do we do about that? Please, hey, Sister Tasha, Assalamu alaikum. What do we do about this? How come nobody ain't talking about this? How come y'all wanted to talk about all the hopey changey stuff that Obama wanted to talk about, like making LGBTQ rights and all that garbage? Why we ain't talking about this? How come we ain't talking about stuff like this, huh? Please tell me. Somebody, please work this out for me. Work it out for me. Now, let's move to the next section. Let's say best case scenario, the internet people are right. Let's say that the internet is correct. And all the hopey changey people are right and exact. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Hypothetically speaking, me and my wife was talking about this morning. Let's say everybody makes six figures, close to six figures. The majority of the people have, according to news. I think the news is fake, but according to them, they say we have a $1.6 trillion spending power. Let's say we get smart, everybody gets woke. I mean, everybody on the internet is woke already, and the statistics still haven't changed. Everybody gets woke, and we all start and say, hey, you know what? This is not fair. It's not fair. There's systemic racism, there's systemic oppression. Hey, y'all, let's get together and let's just do our own thing. Let's build our own community. Let's do our own thing. Hypothetically speaking, let's say that's what it is, right? Okay. Another fun. I told you to stay off of it. That's what you get. Now go sit down. And Musa, you get down too. I told y'all stay off of it. I told y'all stay off of it. I don't care. That's what y'all get. I told y'all stay off of it. So let's say that they're right. So we all get together. We grab our monies. We're upset at the government and the powers to be, and we actually gonna do something about it, right? We put our monies together and we say we're gonna buy up land. We're gonna buy some land. Who do we have to buy the land from? White people. They own all the land. I think the statistic. Please don't quote me on this, but it's just about close as this. I think white people own 98% of the land in America. Well, everybody's like, oh no, they're not racist. If you have the money, you can go and buy the land. Okay. And then what? So the people who instituted slavery, built this country, this aristocracy on slavery, indentured servitude nowadays, they built this country on that. They're going to give up their wealth. They're going to give up 60% of their net worth because of your hopey changey stuff. Because so you telling me that these folks we can come together, we can get $5 billion and say we're gonna buy up 400,000 acres of land in Georgia. Georgia has a lot of land for sale. The ownership of those lands are in the hands of white folks who are the recipients of slave owners. These lands was passed all the way down from their great grandpa, who used to own my great grandpa. And the reason why they're ahead is because they have and own the land. So you telling me, and mind you, this has never happened in the history of America. I'm saying, hypothetically speaking, and giving benefit of the doubt to all my hopey changey, speaking into existence people. They're going to give up 60% of their net worth just to support your cause. They're going to bring down their financial status just to support a black cause. I don't think it's going to work like that. I don't think it's going to work like that. Even if we wanted to buy up a whole town, they have, okay, stay out of that mud. Fine, stay out of the mud. Even if they have whole towns that are for sale. Do you think when we got the black buying power to do so, I don't know why people aren't doing it. All the hopey changey people, all the speaking into existing people, I don't know why y'all not buying up all the land. And as opposed to marching with Black Lives Matter, y'all building communities where we would be the judges, doctors, lawyers, the mayors, and we would possibly have our own governor and have our own state and our own dwellings and have our own nation within a nation where we don't have to worry about being a part of systemic racism. And there's a problem with that too. I don't know if I should. Well, let me just sidebar it. Even if we do accomplish that, that's best case scenario because there's only 40 million of us in this country. That is best case scenario. Even if we do accomplish that, we would be up against 49 to 50 other states where this has not been accomplished yet. So anything we can't, we still wouldn't have the state senators and the what do you call those people who vote the I can't think of it right now. What are not the legislators but the delegates? We wouldn't have the delegate power to get anything moved for our black state. We would still be up against 49 to 50 other states. How can we if and why am I saying this like that? Because if it wasn't what I'm saying right now, all of these people who have all of this power, who believe so much in our hopey changey stuff, they have the money and the power to just with the stroke of a pen make everything equal. They got money in the Federal Reserve because I hear a lot of my white friends and just white people on the internet all the time, and they say, I'm not going to pay for slavery. I never owned a slave before, so my tax dollars aren't going to your reparations. All right, cool. Get out that mud. Get out that mud. Okay, cool. You don't have to give us any tax dollars. Let us dip our hand in the state treasury for them reparations. That money is already there. You ain't got to put a dollar going forward to that. It's enough money in that state treasury for us right now to get reparations. They can say, "Hey, everybody has been mass evacuated out of the state of Georgia, and the state of Georgia is now going to be the first black state in the United States of America as a form of reparations to our black brothers and sisters." How come that's not happening? This is the stuff that people don't want to talk about. This is the stuff that people won't talk about. I think y'all scared, honestly. I honestly think y'all scared, man, because they killed great grandpa. Let me tell you something about that. You got to go sooner or later. And Allah already said that your time is written. Get out of that mud. Y'all getting ready to go in the house. If it was this hopey changey and you can speak it into existence like how y'all say it is on the internet, them Negro, them the new form, them the cyber forms of Negro spirituals. You just singing songs to make the pain feel make it feel a little less a little make the pain a little less painful. You just singing songs. That's it. That's it. We shouldn't even have to go through all of this. We shouldn't even have to work 10 times as hard as our counterparts and make money, organize ourselves, move all to one place, pool the resources, um, um, put our government, our government elects up against their government elects. We shouldn't even have to do all that. It should be a stroke of a pen. Reparations. Black people were done wrong. Black people are still done wrong, and black people cannot get ahead because they had been done wrong at the hands of the United States government. We're gonna boom, write it up, put it in the Constitution. If they were not still racist, that would happen. But since they are still racist, even if we put our own thing together and we did our own efforts and we got our own everything and we got us we don't even have the buying power. I believe honestly. Say that was the we had that situation, best case scenario, and then we had a black government candidate going up. Get out that mud. We had a black government candidate. I believe that surrounding states, and we already have evidence of this. I believe that them surrounding states would come together collectively to outbuy our buying power. We outnumbered every way, shape, form, and fashion you can think of. Every way you can think of. All the way around the board. And they would put up another white candidate that's going to protect, the white resources up against ours, and they would get more airtime and they would get more votes. Mind you, we haven't even made it that far yet. Get out of there before you fall. We haven't even made it that far yet. That's best case scenario for all my Hopi changing people. So I just want to put that on y'all minds. That conversation gets a lot deeper than just that. I just want to throw that out there. Y'all play with it. Like I said, I'm asking for myself. What's the plan? Here's my brother, Tilakal Hayatu Shab. He said, black is not an ethnicity, which is true. It's a color. That's why black, quote unquote, black people are not respected in this financial economy. That's true. Even if they gave reparations to all in a few years, the money would wind up back in the same hands because of the lack of financial education. That's 100% true. We're not prepared. We definitely are not prepared. That's true. Imam Nadir, George Pro, he said they've been paying the Jews reparations for the Holocaust for decades now. Who you telling? Man, man. Everybody been getting reparations or been getting some form uh, 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 of expiation for the sins of the government, except for black people. So what would we do? I want to drop this. I don't know if I don't, in fact, I'm not gonna drop this next. I ain't gonna drop that next one. I'm gonna save what I was just about to say for the next asking for myself. So I'm gonna wrap this up, and I want to say, Tasha Denise Key, she said, "Nope, folks don't want to hear the truth, nor even talk a word about it." Yeah, I mean, they killed Malcolm and Martin, so you better be you better be careful that they kill you. Chesney said that's not going to happen. White folks giving us brown skinned folks some quote unquote some a piece of land to own. Shaking my head. Yeah, right, right. But look up the word. Chesney Key said. But look up the word black in an unabridged dictionary, and we being disrespectful by being called blacks. Yeah, yeah. I think black that means like nothing, or whatnot. That means nothing. Yeah, like no, and no point in history did a people were ever called by the color of their skin. It was always by the name of the nation that they came from. So they erased our identity, which is one tactic that is used for slave owners. As long as we call ourselves black, we don't have an identity, which is a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. That's a whole nother asking for myself. But I'm gonna wrap this up by saying, get out of the matrix. Stop believing all this hopey changey stuff. Stop believing that you can just jump out there and start an LLC and make money and everything is gonna be okay. There's a big picture. Those people who talk like that, they are people who live. Y'all cut it out. They are people who live in a section at the bottom of the forest. What I'm talking about, I'm standing on a mountain and I can see the entire forest. So I can speak on what's going on because I can see the entire forest. The Hopi Changey people and the speaking into existence generation, y'all live in just one area of the forest and you can only talk about what you see. You can't see what I'm talking about, which is the whole entire picture, the bigger picture. Because and I'm gonna let this statement be. Put that down. I'm gonna let this statement be. Boy, you better cut it out. Wipe your hands off. Uh, I'm gonna let this statement be the precursor for the next video next week, inshallah. Say you do get an LLC. Say you do become a successful entrepreneur. Why is that important? People say you must become a black business owner. You must buy black. Why is that stuff important? What significance could that possibly hold? And Negro naysayers, must I say, state have several seats. Don't try to come, because I am a independent, self-owned, self-made LLC member. So you can't talk none of that talk to me. Can't talk none of that talk to me. So I can tell you why, and I'm gonna tell you why in the next video. I'm gonna tell you why how that really won't get us too far, and I'm gonna break it down with the mathematics because y'all know I play with them numbers. I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna break it all the way down. But like I said, get off of that. You know better. Like I said, if everything is hopey changing and you speak it into existence, why don't y'all have them speaking into existence and share this and have them people refute me to speak into existence. Have them speak our freedom into existence. Have us speak land and freedom and equity into existence. Have them do that. And I need it like by the morning because it's kind of bad for me right now. For me and my people, it's kind of bad for me right now. You understand what I'm saying? Have them speaking into existence individuals. I think them people might be agents getting paid to say that stuff, and that the government is involved in making that mess go viral and making us believe it. I think that could be a thing, man. I really think that could be a thing because while they got us looking over here, they over here with a cookie jar with their hand in it, taking everything out. By the time you figure out you ain't spoke Nathan into existence, you turn around, look at the cookie jar, ain't nothing in it. That's a 52 fake out. 52 fake out. How come we work, I think it's 4 times more hours in a year at our jobs, and we make 5 times less than everybody else, especially our white counterparts? Why is that? Why is everybody? And we some educated, hard-working folks. We got education. We did what they said that we sent our children to college. We got them through high school, got them in college, and they got jobs and they got business management organizations. And then next thing you know, you got a job at Fifth Third Bank. You done made it. Nah, you ain't made it. We're gonna talk about why uh, so-called financial success in the black context is frivolous. It's empty. We're gonna talk about that next week, inshallah. So I'm gonna hang this up. Y'all play with this, what I just said. Y'all let me know. Y'all give me the answer. Cause I'm just a convicted felon. I don't know nothing. Y'all went to college. Y'all studied abroad. I didn't. I'm just a convicted felon. So I'm gonna let y'all play with this, share this, and get the word out there. Get the good brother an answer to this question. Tune in tonight. Me and wife are going live, doing our love talks live. We're gonna talk about black love, black relationships, uh, more specifically in the black Muslim community. But I believe black Muslims have knocking right in his head with this piece of ice. Get out that mud. You getting ready to go in the house. But I think that black Muslims have taken a leadership role in the black community because at least we talking about being married and then we trying it. So we're gonna talk about that tonight. The topic is, I mean, this is the reason for this series, this podcast series of me and wifey is doing. We're gonna be raw. We're gonna kick everything from the inside out. The topic today is going 50-50 on the Bills. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Tune in. We're gonna get that started. Going 50-50 on the Bills. The 50-50 men and the guys who can't or won't pay all the bills. We're gonna talk about this, inshallah. And since I see that's the hay, that's the hay on the internet, or as George Pro like to say, on the interweb. That's the hay on the interweb. We talking about that tonight, inshallah. I think 8 or 9 o'clock. Just look for the announcer. I got to see when the schedule is clear and free. George Pro said, along with France, Austria, South Africa, and Canada, have all paid reparations since 1950. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Tanzania said on the bill. All right, I love y'all for the sake of Allah. If I said anything wrong, it doesn't belong to me. I mean, it doesn't belong to the Prophet of Islam. It doesn't belong to Allah, nor his perfect book, the Holy Quran, or the illustrious scholars, certified scholars in Islam. These are my observations, my reservations, and my conclusions. That's why I call it asking for myself. That's what y'all say, right? I'm asking for myself. I want somebody to correct me. Didn't nobody correct the last asking for myself. I think enough people seen it. So maybe I might be on to something. I'm gone. I love y'all for the sake of Allah. Tune in tonight, inshallah. Love Talks Live. We're going to be talking about, and we're going to get the people involved on this because there is no right way and wrong way in relationships. That's one of the mistakes. I don't want to blow the conversation for the night, but there's no right or wrong way in relationships. So tune in if y'all want to get y'all voices heard and throw y'all, we're gonna engage with the people a whole lot tonight about this conversation. We kind of have to because we all weighing in those things because it's different strokes for different folks. All right, I'm gone, y'all. Gonna give me some lunch. Kula kala hada wa astaghfirullah wa la ilaha illallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.